Officers had responded to a domestic disturbance call. Their notes described Sarah as hysterical and her husband as concerned and cooperative. No injuries documented despite Sarah's visible bruises in the dated photos I found. The pattern of failed escapes stretched back further than anyone knew. Sarah and I realized she'd been documenting abuse in patient notes using medical terminology. Phrases like guarding behavior and defensive positioning appeared repeatedly in her session notes from the past year. Only another therapist would recognize these clinical descriptions of abuse symptoms. Her professional training had become her secret documentation system. What Diana labeled as proof of Sarah's instability was actually her reporting system. Sarah had used the clinic's incident reports to document her husband's threats, disguising them as family stressor affecting work performance. Each report Diana now used against her was originally Sarah's attempt to create an evidence trail. Sarah's mother faced her own impossible choice. Supporting her daughter meant losing access to her grandson. Her son-in-law had made that crystal clear. The woman who'd raised Sarah chose her grandson, but slipped Sarah a folder during a chance encounter at the pharmacy. Aiden's recent medical records showed concerning patterns, regression in social skills, new anxiety behaviors, sleep disturbances, all beginning after Sarah left. I started strategically befriending Jamie, pretending to agree with her perspectives on Sarah. Through casual conversations, I learned Diana's documentation patterns. She always filed reports on Fridays. She kept handwritten notes before creating official documents. Her office computer auto-locked after 3 minutes of inactivity. Small details that might matter later. A carefully orchestrated encounter with Sarah's husband at a coffee shop revealed his tells. He ordered Sarah's exact drink without seeming to realize it. Vanilla latte with an extra shot. Her morning ritual he'd apparently absorbed. His hands shook slightly when the barista called out the order. For a moment, his mask slipped, showing something raw underneath the controlled facade. Reviewing old session notes with new understanding revealed Sarah's coding system. Words like resistant and defiant appeared in quotes, not describing children but documenting what she was called at home. Patient progress notes became a diary hidden in plain sight. Child responded well to firm boundaries, translated to her own need for protection. Sarah's estranged sister appeared at the clinic, claiming she wanted to help reconcile the family. Her real interest became clear when she mentioned their mother's estate. Taking the husband's side guaranteed her position as the stable heir. She gathered information while pretending concern, another family member choosing sides based on personal gain. The competing battles meant Sarah missed her mandatory court appearance for the key theft accusation. The bench warrant issued immediately. Now she wasn't just a runaway mother, but a fugitive from justice. Every attempt to fight back created new weapons against her. My savings account drained rapidly. Lawyer consultations, gas money for Sarah, printing documents at copy centers, small expenses that accumulated into financial crisis. Sarah's accounts remained frozen while her husband enjoyed full access to their joint assets. Economic warfare waged quietly alongside the public destruction. The confrontation at Aiden's school happened during parent-teacher conferences. Sarah attempted to attend, asserting her parental rights. Her husband had already informed administration she was dangerous. Security escorted her out while other parents watched. One mother filmed it, adding commentary about protecting our children from unstable individuals. My termination letter arrived on a Tuesday. Pattern of boundary violations and poor judgment provided no specific incidents but made me unemployable in the field. Diana smiled as she watched me pack my desk. No reference meant no future in pediatric therapy. My career sacrificed for someone I'd known mere weeks. Couch surfing between friends began immediately, each stay shorter than the last as friends grew uncomfortable with my obsession. My former roommate changed the locks after finding more domestic violence research on her computer. The shelter system I'd helped Sarah navigate now looked like my own future. Sarah's mother delivered the final family blow. Standing in the shelter's visiting area, she told Sarah to stop torturing everyone with her mental illness. Just like her father had always said, Sarah was sick, needed help, was destroying the family. The words Sarah had fought against her entire life now spoken by the person who should have protected her. My investigation into Sarah's whereabouts caused the shelter worker to be questioned by police about harboring a fugitive. The safe house protocols were compromised. Other abuse victims were endangered because I'd pushed too hard for evidence. The shelter worker's husband demanded she stop bringing danger home to their children. I continued pushing despite knowing the damage I caused. Each piece of evidence seemed crucial, worth the collateral damage. The old version of me would have been horrified at prioritizing one person's fight over an entire shelter's safety. But desperation had rewritten my moral code. My ex-boyfriend's text arrived at 3 a.m. What if she really did just abandon them? What if you're wrong? The question I'd been avoiding hit directly. I typed and deleted a dozen responses. The doubt he voiced lived in my mind too, growing stronger with each failed attempt to help. During my unemployment hearing, I admitted prioritizing personal involvement over professional duties. The panel's disapproval was palpable. No employer would want someone who couldn't maintain basic boundaries. My honest testimony sealed my unemployable status. Medical records revealed the horrible irony. Sarah had reported concerns about Aiden's home environment to his pediatrician, but she'd minimized the severity, terrified of triggering a CPS investigation that might place Aiden in foster care. Her attempts to protect him had created documentation that now suggested she was the unstable parent. Her husband's lawyer filed new motions preventing Sarah from attending any of Aiden's school events, sports games, concerts, parent meetings, all legally off limits. The last threads connecting mother and son were being systematically severed through legal mechanisms. Understanding emerged slowly about Sarah's husband. He genuinely believed he'd saved Aiden from a weak, damaging mother. His control registered as love in his mind. The narrative he'd constructed wasn't manipulation, but his actual reality. A father protecting his son from a mentally ill woman who'd abandoned them. His rage stemmed from Sarah destroying the family image he'd spent years perfecting. The coaching positions, community involvement, church leadership, all carefully cultivated to present the ideal family. Sarah's escape shattered that facade, exposing cracks he couldn't repair with manipulation alone.